Hey there, welcome to the first episode of the BetterSax YouTube teaching series. This is where I take some videos submitted by viewers and we're going to watch them together, and then I'm going to give some feedback, some tips, and my suggestions on what to practice to improve different things in your playing. Thanks to everyone who's been submitting videos. I've had dozens of videos sent to me in the last week. It's very much appreciated. Make sure you follow the instructions on the page. There's a link in the description below. Click the link if you'd like to submit your own video and follow all the instructions you see there. Be sure to tell me how long you've been playing and any other relevant information. What we're going to be going over today is stuff that I see very commonly in just about all of the videos sent to me and in my private students over the years. They're common difficulties, common problems that everyone needs to work on. So whatever stage you're at, you should be able to benefit from watching this teaching session here on YouTube today. Be sure to click the like button and comment below if you got some value out of this video and you'd like to see more of this type of thing. I'm up for doing this if there's a lot of participation and it's benefiting everyone that's watching. So keep the videos coming and let's get into today's episode. Okay, here we have Giorgio. Giorgio is going to play Last Tango in Paris for us. Okay, nice intro, Giorgio. Like it. Okay, I can tell right away, Giorgio, you're putting in some nice feeling and passion into your playing. That's always a positive that's coming across in your video. Okay, you see there, you got your left shoulder. There's a lot of tension there. And when you go into these palm keys, you're lifting your left shoulder and you're getting a lot of tension in your shoulders, your hands, your whole body, and it's coming out in the sound. So one thing to do is when you get is stay nice and relaxed all the time. The way to do that for the palm keys, to keep your fingers from going way off the keys, is practice slowly and relaxed. Just isolate that area, and you want your hands to just be on the palm keys. Let me show you. You want to be playing up here. Now, your fingers, are always going to have to, just by the nature of these palm keys, they have to come off a little bit. But you want to avoid this thing, and you want to avoid this thing. Okay, so nice and relaxed. Practice playing scales, playing arpeggios, playing just slow things, and getting really good finger movement up in the palm keys, and play in front of a mirror and watch that you're not lifting your shoulder up. That's bad for a lot of health reasons, but it's also going to come out. It's going to make your playing sound tense, which we don't want. Okay, now I'm going to address the bending, the scooping of notes again. If you had played this whole thing exactly as you did and you left out all of the bends and the scoops, for me it would sound a lot nicer. It would sound more elegant and more fitting to the music you're trying to communicate. The bend thing on saxophone, that is one of those things that will instantly set you apart from other players. So I recommend to people to just practice with no bends, no scoops whatsoever. Eliminate it from your playing to get out of that habit as step one. And then when you want, the bends and scoops are part of playing saxophone. But when players are doing that, what sounds better is when you're kind of coming from one note and going into it. So if I want to bend into a B, I'll play a B flat, and then it's kind of like a grace note rather than a wah. Rather than doing it with my embouchure, you want to be doing it with your fingers. So take the note a half step below your target note and play that note and kind of lift your fingers up slowly to get into it. That is a more effective way. Let me show you. Rather than it's cleaner, it's more subtle, it's more musical, it's less aggressive to the ears. So this is something that I hear all the time in almost every one of the videos submitted to me. I hear players really doing that wah, that fwa fwa thing on a saxophone. If everyone eliminates that from their playing right now and start rather using chromatic grace notes, it's going to elevate the sophistication of your playing immediately. Okay, but very nicely played. Nice, soft, contrasts in dynamics. Nice vibrato, nice sound, nice feel. Relax the tension in the body and less scoops and bends. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Fred. Fred has been playing the saxophone for 10 days in this video. He got himself one of my online courses, the Pentatonic Foundation, and he's going to play for us one of the early exercises from that course. Okay, only 10 days, huh? That's pretty good for only 10 days. I'm quite impressed. Very good hand position, finger position. You're keeping your fingers close to the keys. That's great starting out. One thing I would like to see and hear is for you to play with the metronome. Why aren't you playing with the metronome? There's no like, oh, I need to be more advanced to play. No, metronome from day one. There's no benefit to not playing with the metronome. Okay, so maybe you just turned it off to play to make this video, but in the future, you guys that want to make videos playing an exercise or really anything, put the metronome on. I do it all the time. It's like the drummer. Okay, one other thing Fred asked, he said he's got a Leger signature reed 2.5, he said, and he wanted to know if it was right for him. Sounds and looks pretty good for me. Maybe try taking a tad more mouthpiece in your mouth, but for someone is in the beginning stages like you looks like you're off to a good start. You're already getting a pretty nice full sound. So if you're comfortable with that 2.5 Leger with the mouthpiece setup you've got, stick with it. Of course, you're going to want to experiment with other reed strengths to have a point of comparison, but so far so good. Okay, so that thing where you're going from C to D and you're missing that, C is one finger down, to D with the octave key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fingers down. So you're moving 6 fingers all at once in both hands. They all need to move at the exact same moment. If some of them come down earlier than others, you are likely to get a sound like that. So the solution, the way to practice and fix that is just go back and forth between those two notes. Put the metronome on. And just focus on the smooth movement and of all those fingers at the exact same moment. The slower you go, the better. Also, taking the fingers off the keys is, you know, you need to be practicing both. You're practicing putting the fingers down on the keys and releasing the keys. When you release them, you don't want to be releasing them too far, releasing your fingers off out of contact with the key pearls. This is for any difficult combination of notes. So C to D, C sharp to D, B to D, G to B. Okay, Fred, for 10 days, you're off to a great start. Use the metronome when you record stuff, everything, metronome, 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 all the time. And keep going in this direction. I think you're off to a great start. Congratulations. Okay, next up we have Richard. Richard is going to play for us over a backing track from my Blues Foundation course. He's playing a blues melody called Fats on Fire. It's a Fats Domino thing. And then he's going to take a little improvised solo. So let's listen to Richard. Richard, the first thing I notice is the rhythm. You're having the tendency to push, to be a little bit on top of the beat, to rush, okay? In the blues, but really all music, you very rarely do you want to be on top of the beat. So definitely start holding it back. A good way to, this is a relatively slow tempo, so a good way to keep yourself from getting ahead is to subdivide in your head. That's something we talk about in the Blues Foundation course. So maybe go back over those lessons, but we're talking about subdividing. So this is this is like a triplet shuffle feel. So you got and if you can kind of have that going on in the background all the time, feeling that pulse all the time while you're playing, it's going to help you to avoid that trap of always rushing, especially at slow tempos. So the way to practice and get better at that is when you're listening to music, listen to the underlying subdivision of the beat and just count it, feel it, tap it out with your fingers. Get used to feeling that underlying subdivision all the time when you're listening to music, and then carry that over to when you're playing music. Okay, there's a note, there's a wrong note there. Okay, you're playing the 5 of the blues scale, and you want to be playing the flat 5. Okay, that's good. Da 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 ba da 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 da. Okay, 2 nice phrases. If you play the exact same thing but are more rhythmically in the pocket, it's going to make a world of difference. So you really need to get your notes to line up with the triplet subdivision of the rhythm of this song. Okay, another great line. It sounds to me like you've listened to a lot of blues, because you've got these lines in your ear already. I don't know how long you've been playing saxophone, but you've got some natural things that are coming out when you're improvising. That's great. Now get them to line up rhythmically. The other thing that I suggest you spend a lot of time working on is the sound. Beefing up the sound. Work on a lot of long tones. As I will pretty much say to just about everybody who submitted videos, is loosen up the embouchure. Don't choke off the reed and restrict the sound. What I find is that people are always doing is they're kind of forcing a little bit here. They're squeezing, they're biting, trying to force the notes out. What you want to be doing is letting the air stream do the work of producing the sound, not the embouchure. The embouchure is just there to kind of allow the reed to vibrate freely. It's just like a kind of like a control mechanism to keep everything under control here. But it's not squeezing really. It's just putting a very light pressure on that reed, controlling it as it vibrates and makes the sound. So everyone relax the embouchure, relax the throat, relax the shoulders, relax everything, and let the airstream do the work of making the sound. Okay, I see, you're playing a C there, and you've got these fingers up. That's just your classic, fingers on the key pearls. Okay, Richard, so you got some great lines. Line them up more rhythmically. What I really like about the way you're playing is you're playing a phrase. You're playing a meaningful musical phrase, and then you're leaving a breath. You're leaving a space, and then you're playing your next phrase. So this is a trap that a lot of people fall into, especially when they first learn their blues scale. They just start, I can play on a blues, and I can just kind of play all these notes and just go up and down as much as I want, searching for something. So what I like about this is you're playing a nice idea, stop. Idea gets processed, next idea. Okay, that is very much on the right track. So keep going on in that direction. Focus all your efforts right now on rhythm and sound. I mean, this is pretty much what we should all be doing, rhythm and sound, right? But really focus on those things, and then you'll be well on your way. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks to everyone who participated. Keep the videos coming. The link is in the description below where you would submit your own video. Make sure you follow the instructions you see on the page there. If you like this video and would like to see more content like this, please click the thumbs up button. Comment below, either just to support your fellow saxophone players or to ask some questions, give me some ideas for future videos you'd like to see. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the BetterSax YouTube channel. Click the bell icon. What else is there to say? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.